Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Revelink Let's Play. This is Northstar. Brutal challenge. Interesting. Radio silence. Search activities hidden. Yeah, I really don't want to do one with Impulsive Shopper. And a budget deadline, as in general. No. Interesting, but, yeah, I was planning on doing a Mega Brutal round. Although I somehow got the achievement for every map on Brutal, and I haven't done the Development Director or Warlord on Brutal. Southern Desert, so I don't know what's with that. I may get around to them eventually anyhow. Excuse me. Saffron Fields is very much the easiest, so guess I could try it with Economist. I guess Economists in my mind, because I've been seeing some YouTube videos and trying to leave comments, so nobody ever freaking sees my YouTube comments, I swear. I mean, I'll leave stuff and I'll never get liked, respond to. I swear YouTube is shadow banning, hiding my comments, because it tries to suppress opinions of left-wingers, it seems like. Particular ones they consider dangerous or subversive of the status quo. But, there's no such thing as Nobel Prize in Economics, which is something that was coming up. There is this Swedish Central Bank Nobel quote Memorial Prize in Economics, but it's not created by Alfred Nobel's legacy. It's not overseen by the Nobel family. I mean, Nobel Prize is basically a brand. The reason the prize became so famous is because of stringent standards and who gets it. And the Swedish Central Bank that created their own prize in 1969 does not apply the same standards as the Nobel Prize Committee that decides for physics, chemistry, medicine, peace. The standards are so much lower and they're biased. This is an important thing. Nobel Prizes in economics. Nobel Memorial Prize is by the Swedish Central Bank. We need to stop calling it Nobel Prize and call it the Swedish Central Bank Prize in Economics. That's an accurate name for what it is. Are decided by a cabal of shadowy cabal of bankers, and they tend to go to right-wing economists or center-left at best. Occasionally a social democrat, just so they can say that it's not only going to right-wingers, but there's a strong right-wing bias in who gets these prizes, and the people who get them even on the left are selected for those who are least dangerous. They're to the entrenched power and interests of the very, very, very rich. They represent the global elites, like, to a ridiculous degree. Like, central banks are often not at all meritocratic in who gets the top ranks. You'll see people from, like, families descended from literal aristocracy who make up a lot of the top ranks. Here in the U.S., my brother's mother-in-law knows someone is related or something who's in like the U.S. Central Bank, and she never shuts up. And this person, like, even before they got to the being in the U.S. Federal Reserve, which is the U.S. Central Bank, they were like multi-millionaire, went to like Yale or something, connected from a super, super rich family. And then these are sort of people who make up the top central banks. There's huge class bias. People who are talented in economics but aren't from rich families, they might work at a central bank, but they never make it to the top. They never have much influence. It's very much a tool that, this is not new. America's founding fathers, like in the early 1800s, criticized the creation of central banks, some of them, and how they were tools of the very, very wealthy. And they were correct. Like, Thomas Jefferson was famously a critic of this. These central banks became nothing but tools of the emerging merchant class and the bourgeoisie the emerging industrialist capitalist class. That's what the bourgeoisie is, which America, industrialized somewhat later than say the UK. Um, to control economies for their own interests. I mean, they do what's supposedly best for the country, but there's very little evidence that a lot of things they do actually help the countries, and they very often conveniently do help. To the degree they help a country's economy, they usually do it by way of helping the very rich. And the assumptions are built in. There's a lot of criticism of central banks. You see it, unfortunately, from some idiots like modern monetary theory sorts, but they do have some valid criticisms. And a fake Nobel Prize that was literally supposedly created as a PR stunt, but really it was created to subvert economics. Calling it a publicity or PR stunt takes the venom out of what it was really done to do, which is to subvert the field of economics and give more credibility to the most right-wing voices in it. I mean, Milton Friedman, who was a racist piece of shit, got one of these prizes, for instance, who had some seriously questionable views on some things. Some of the people were just utter hacks. Some of them were Friedman's actually one of the more competent ones, so I respect for his intelligence, until learning some utterly ridiculous statements he said that were not only racist but economically unsound. He just gets a lot of credit for the things he said that were smarter. I suppose maybe he might have still won a prize in a world where sometimes shitty people even get normal Nobel Prizes if some of what they say is smart. And Friedman did say some really smart stuff, but some people are just hacks. And yeah, it's because doesn't have the same standards. But anyways, I don't expect to win this scenario. It's mega brutal. I'm tired, but I've been cleaning house with these scenarios so often. I mean, I have a chance, but on mega brutal, you lose a lot, and I especially lose today. I'm not doing great with my long COVID. I'm disabled long COVID for those new to my channel. It sucks trying to get to survive with YouTube, and I'm hoping this mega brutal run will get me a little more interest than the endless brutal ones I just clear house with each time. I've done mega brutal before. You could see I already beat this map once with the Civil Servant on MB, but Civil Servant is probably the easiest, and the easiest map with the easiest governor. That's not the same as doing it with Economist. Is a little harder, takes a little more skill, and I don't pretend to be the best player ever to live at this game, to say the least. This is rough. It's really hard to keep the mountains stable. I'm not sure I can do it at all. I'll start here because I have to stabilize the town reasonable time or I'm screwed. As soon as I get that, I unlock effective procurement. So, boom. Inflation goes up very fast on Mega Brutal. Some of the habits I've gotten to, I got into in the first place from playing on Mega Brutal, with waiting between initiatives and such. So, still, you have to go very aggressive in some initiatives to stabilize anything at all before lack of stability kills you. But, same time, inflation's gonna be a problem. On Mega Brutal, you can't not suffer from inflation. If you wait for inflation to come down too much, you'll lose due to lack of stability. So it's a very careful balancing act. I mean, very careful. Grab Universal Justice, because it's $7. I have to put off international assistance a little, just because its effects are so tough that I might just want to do funding only with it. Nah, I need the limited access or I'll never stabilize in time. Not going to be able to wait for this to come down below $13, so anti-corruption one gets you little support, gets you ahead of corruption a little. $3. Water supply is 1. $3 for water expansion. Insurgency very early here, as you can see. I need a bank reserve increase. Deal with that brutal level of inflation. School supplies, because it rolls out fast. Need to wait a little longer between education initiatives. I'll have to do. Look at that inflation. It's nuts. And I'm getting a healthcare concern, Delta Yankee. That's a problem. Even this produces a little inflation. But they're off a little because I'm not doing to debt to even afford the coalition troops. Go through here, so I'll stop here. Get a little intel on the way. I have to defend the green zones or I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I am legitimately screwed. Pretty sure this is unwinnable now. I'll try a little more. But this rolls out a little faster. Personal health programs, so I'll do it. A surprise attack really hit me hard. I mean, I knew one was coming, but I was just not quite fast enough getting there. Right, intel here. Now I'll have to go up to the green zone. Put that off as long as I can. Go there. Prisoner forms. For form, I need the reputation. Oh. Actually, can't lose that zone. Okay. Urban outreach. Stuff to roll out faster. Oof. Pretty sure that lost that green zone. Which there's no way I could have successfully defended. These guys can't even win on flat ground. It's only a matter of time till I'll lose. Need airstrikes. Let's see why they call it Mega Brutal. I hope. I can stop this zone from being captured. I don't have intel there. I can't get there fast enough. I know the insurgents control a number of connected zones. I can't do anything about it. There's a camp there. Grab polio eradication. Local militia. And with Economist, starting with the green zones, I got a lot of extra funding right at the beginning. I think it's just one insurgent there. I might stop that area from falling. Lucky. Fell on a cover up. I'm screwed. These guys go here. Back this up. Nope. I take the zone otherwise. I'm suffering lack of skill already, and I can't stabilize anything. This bullshit. Really? They're going here already? And then they detect us entering there, and they're like, nope. It's not work, actually. To surround and destroy this pocket. Vocational training. Secure checkpoints. Can't lose this. Ah! Even with. And they managed to destroy that garrison. Okay. Impossible. Not possible. That was a weak start. Economist, I mean, in a Brand Brutal, you really have to get lucky. Thank God, no more green zones in the mountains. That's obnoxious. Utterly obnoxious for it to do that to me. Save. This is a start. It could probably work. Surgeon camp discovered. Can't do anything about it yet, but that's a bit of good luck. I know where it is already. That's all I have to do. You have to suffer through a little inflation. Stabilize quick enough. Let's grab universal justice. Doesn't have any rollout time, gives support and rep for that matter. Water expansion. So if they do cherries, there's fewer water initiatives they can randomly roll. Concerns yet. Do this instantly since I know where the camp is. That's a blessing. Scrap any corruption one. So we inflate a cost, but with support. A little. Maybe I can drive these guys in the mountains. I'm lucky. Or it offers support. May have to ignore them. I'm not going to stabilize that zone, so not actually useful. It's a trap. That doesn't need the garrisons. It's not a super useful location, but it'll help ensure I don't lose the green zone. Just mainly in case I need combat reinforcements. They seem to be doing alright without them. Let's grab another level of anti-corruption. No, we don't have any support in that zone anyways. Already out of money. Alright, and go there. Don't actually need intel in that zone right away. Made enough progress. Grab some Foxtrot Oscar. Keep rotating between them in case one of them's gonna get attacked eventually. Alright. Still not. I guess I'll go here. Start development. Oh, need some movement. Grab the PR media office because it gave me the warning. Seems to actually give cost-effective support right now, so. Let's grab vocational training. Shoot. And local militia finally. I'd definitely take that zone. And that one. Can't afford to borrow anymore. It went deeply into debt. Let's just go roll out. Key initiatives early. Quitting local militia. That's not gonna be quick enough. Make sure they don't try and double move that way. Worst case. Furthest, hopefully. Really? This might not be doable. Awfully far into debt before, probably more than I should have. Wasn't quite watching the money. Shoot. A verge of collapse here. Maybe not seem it, but lose golf Papa. It's just getting really bad. Frickin' stupid no-seum. So the window isn't cracked or some dumb thing like that. Development bank, because I need to stabilize cities sooner. Or healthcare, so all the healthcare concerns. And now this nonsense foreign rival supporting insurgents. But national soldiers here because it's slow as heck to move units in and out of that area. I'm just gonna need to keep troops basically permanently stationed. Save. Ah! And then you instantly get something terrible. These guys have nowhere to run. It's a lot of red progress for insurgents that just barely enter that zone. Corruption. Rapid replacement. Nice. That'll give me a chance. And the new unit you get, you can keep in the deployment queue for a while, so it's a deployment time doesn't even start ticking until it's off the deployment queue. And it renews their deployment going to the other wars, so because you actually get a different unit back. So it's actually a good thing. Corruption is a major problem now, but I'm gonna have to go into debt to deal with it. I just have to deal with that. Inflation is low, but so is funding. Oh, garrison. There's no reason to do this at the last second because we'll get more funds till. Alright. Threaten. Put off the garrison. That's where I want the garrison, but I'm gonna have to go into debt for it, so. Okay, now that I don't have to go into debt, do it right away. Just grab urban outreach. Stabilize that corner. Nice and fast. Infrastructure discussions. We have to rely on the NGOs to do that. Alright, international assistance. This may seem like it's going well, but it can very quickly go tits up and mega brutal. Oof, camp there. Just saw that. These guys. One way for things to go tits up is to lose a green zone. Increase the pay of the national soldiers. Subtle pressure failed. What about that, I suppose? Alright, police are coming to put off because of corruption. But I can't put off longer. Cherry's prepared to help. Limited access. Roll out some of the civilian stuff. I'll do main roads myself to make sure it gets done. Boom. To reduce antagonism. Keep the coalition troops moving around. Troopers and guides, because my coalition troops are antagonizing the locals way too much. And it's the relatively high number of hostiles. Urban outreach, I'm pretty sure. Well, there are a few remote zones. There is for so much combat. Refugees being rehoused. Nice. Let's grab. Oh, telecoms. So these guys here in case it can't pops and golf Papa yet again. Ways it could end up in trouble. Nope. To green zone. Jiggity jig. Keep the coalition soldiers from staying in one place too long. Time for some remote outreach, I guess. And more national troops. I can't keep the coalitions forever. "48 minutes? Oof. Alright, I'm gonna save here. Cut this recording, and I will see you folks in a little bit. I need to get up and stretch. Mega Brutal, you have to stay alert. So, until next time, wish you all the best. Take care of each other, kind yourselves, and may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Adieu.